On tonight's episode, we talk about the new Ballerina.
And other pop culture news from the week.
We saw the new John Wick universe installment. It's called Ballerina. I think in some places it's called From the World of John Wick Ballerina.
Okay.
You know, which is, I guess, is giving a name for that universe. And it was really good. It was really fun.
Yeah.
With Ana de Armas, Norman Reedus is there, Keanu Reeves, Angelica Houston, Ian McShane, Lance Reddick, and I think this is actually the last one where we see Lance Reddick since he passed away a couple years. A couple years.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
In fact, did he film any of this, or was this footage that they took from?
You know what? That's a good point. Maybe they use. Yeah, I don't know. I assume they use him because he's on the scene with her. But I guess it's like shows him, shows her, shows him, shows her.
Yeah, I feel like, and all of his dialogue
could
is like
be.
pretty generic. Like,
Yeah.
will you be checking in?
Yeah, as a hotel, like I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
It's like checking in. Yeah.
So I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, but you see him at least one last time. Who else? Gabriel Byrne and some other people, new talent, and other actors and actresses. The movie, as I said, the movie is fun. It's really good. Ana de Armas is on the title character of Eve Macaro, the ballerina, and she's really hot on it. And I'm not talking about her physical attributes. There's like at the end of the movie, there's like it's on the trailer.
Oh yeah.
There's a very fiery
Yes, fiery
scene.
Uh-huh.
And anyways, the movie takes place in between John Wick Part 3, Parabellum, and John Wick Part 4, or John Wick 4. And there's a little bit of crossover, and it dwells deep into the lore of that universe, the Roscaroma, the tribes, of course the Continental is there, and yeah, you talked a lot already.
Yeah, this one's great. Like other John Wick movies, like really every installment, it expands just enough and our view of this universe. So yeah, we do have some interaction with the Continental. Ian McShane is there, of course. But this one really, we get to see a lot more of the Roscaroma because Ana de Armas, like we see some of her training there and her growing up and all of that. And then we add a little bit of the mythology. So now we've already had the Baba Yaga, who's of course from Russian mythology, Russian folktales. And now we introduce the idea of the Kikimora, who is also from Slavic mythology and is this figure who is like, can be, how's it described? Like to people who are like evil and selfish, the Kikimora is like antagonistic and evil and dangerous. But for people who need protection, the Kikimora is a protector. And so that's kind of who Ana de Armas takes on a little bit. So now we have Baba Yaga and we have the Kikimora. And we have this whole new tribe. And anyway, like Ana de Armas, despite being very, very tiny, is so good in action movies. As with every other film in the John Wick world, we have just fantastic fight choreography. There are extended fight scenes where I just tune out because the punch, let me know when you're done and we see who comes out on top. The choreography, the stunts, the fight choreography, everything here is so entertaining, so interesting, tells us about the characters, all the rest. Like you gotta watch it.
Yeah.
All.
And now his name escapes my head. Stahelski,
Yes.
right? Chad Stahelski, the creator of John Wick and this whole universe. He was a stuntman himself.
Yeah, and it really shows.
And he brought his knowledge and skills to the movie, and they do it like really, really well. And not only because he is an experienced stuntman and worked, of course, with stunt woman as well. He brought his experience to the movie. he knows that a man getting punched is not the same as a woman getting punched. So they have this on the movie, and also they have this on the story when she's being trained, and that's another very
Yeah.
interesting thing about the movie and the lore is that they have this family, they have this organization where women are being trained to be ballerinas, so they are like in perfect shape, and they also train to be assassins. It's like is another
Black Widow.
yeah, but I mean it's another like, hey, Marvel, Disney, learn how you do a Black Widow movie.
Yes.
And they do it like much better, much more competently. So as Ana de Armas character, Eve is trained at this place, and the guy, she's fighting with a guy, and the guy sort of beats the crap out of her, or she can never win.
Yeah.
Comes the instructor and tells her, it's like, you cannot win. He has advantages that you cannot overcome. So what you do, you use what you can. You cheat. You play your strengths. They are not the same as his. And then she finds
Yeah,
ways.
don't fight like a man,
Yeah.
fight like a girl.
Yeah. And then she does and is successful. And then after the training first mission, we see she's struggling, which is it was very cool to see, because usually on the movie when the girl lead or the man lead is the lead, is sort of like immortal and super powerful,
Yeah.
to the point that it's like, okay, sure. In this case, no, there's risk, because it's an underdog fighting the odds.
Granted, like an elitely trained, super skilled underdog, but
Yeah.
you see her work for it. I was actually reminded of Rocky quite a few times. Like one of her big strengths is that she just won't stay down. We see that in her training. We see that like all throughout. She just won't stop. Where maybe a rational, sane, less damaged human being would be like, you know what, that's enough. I'm done. She just she's relentless.
Yeah, but
keeps
also stopping might mean death, right? So
Sure.
the instinct of the survival instinct kicks in as well.
Yeah, there's that.
But so there's all that. So it's pretty cool to see. You want to say something?
Oh, there are definitely a couple moments where she's protected by plot armor. But for the most part, yeah, like you see her work for it. She earns every little bit that she gains. There's a couple cool things, like a couple interesting themes going through the movie. This idea of like fate versus choice. That's never really resolved. It's just like different people are like, no, this is fate, and someone else will be like, you have a choice, and someone's like, you have no choice, and so there's kind of that dilemma, like weaving through stuff. They also do a great job, I think, of like showing and not telling. I feel like we know so much about her, even though, like, maybe she doesn't say a lot. Like, I don't know. They do a great job. Like, everything is telling us more about the world and about the story. Everything has a purpose, which we've already seen in the John Wick movies. Keanu Reeves says, like, what, 3 words the whole time and across the 4 films, and we know so much about him. I just think it's really good storytelling.
Yeah. So the movie escalates to full action third act, again with fire and very very
Nice.
very intense action sequences where she fights her way through, like a good story, like a video game, to the big boss and to the resolution of her problems. It's very fun. I assume it's R, right? Because it has
sure.
a little bit of violence. John Wick get involved because, like, again, there's like the paths cross a little bit in the beginning, a little bit at the end, and it's definitely fun, entertaining, with room for more, because the John Wick world or universe is constantly expanding, and yeah, why not? It's probably the best action, along with what Tom Cruise is doing, whatever he's doing, that we can find, out there.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I don't want to spoil anything.
At the end of the movie, at the very end, there's a credits honoring Jason Constantine, a Lionsgate executive that was in charge of the expansion of John Wick movies and the Saw universe, the revival, the return of Saw universe, that passed away at 55 this past week. So they quickly put his name there to honor him.
Yeah.
And yeah, which is always cool. The guy worked for this to happen. The one curiosity about the movie is directed by Len Wiseman, I think. But after the final cut was done, Chad Stahelski, there's the father of this baby, this John Wick universe. He said no, let's finish this, let's reshoot this, let's get this done differently, to the point that the movie was supposed to come out June last year, and they had reshoot and redone, and got it done as as the standard of quality he came up with for the other movies. So this one ends the way it was supposed to, the way he liked it, and the audience is loving it. We loved it. The critics, Rotten Tomatoes, we talked about it, it's being exposed, it's being paid, so the critics' numbers are not to be trusted, but the audience's numbers is high in the 90s.
Yeah, as it should be.
Ballerina with Ana de Armas, from the John Wick universe, is available on theaters everywhere starting today, June 6th.
Yeah, definitely go check that one out. Okay, total shift to a fun family film. We watched Fountain of Youth, starring John Krasinski and
Natalie Portman and Asa Gonzalez and Glendon Gleeson and the kid. And there's the guy, Stanley Tucci is there for like a second, which, okay, it's like easy money.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe they're, I don't know, never mind.
Yeah, and yeah.
Where is this one? Was this
Apple TV? Yeah, it's an Apple TV original. Apple TV Plus. Apple TV is the device. Apple TV Plus is the streaming service and the studio. And it's fun. It's a modern, not modern, because when people say modern these days, that means like woke and change to for some agenda.
Sure.
But it's a current adventure on the modes, not the modes. Is that a word in English?
Sure.
Does that mean what I think it means?
I don't know. Let's finish the sentence, find out.
On the modes of Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I feel like if you've seen Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and if you've seen National Treasure, you've basically seen this movie, which is not a bad thing. I would say this is like the junior version of these two films.
Yeah.
It definitely felt like parents making a movie that their kids could see.
There's a I think the difference is they're siblings.
Yes, Krasinski and Portman are playing.
So I don't think
siblings.
There's like good friends, but siblings of any kind on this type of movie. I can't remember anything. Oh, there's on the mommy. There's like Rachel's wife's character,
yes.
And her brother is like a secondary character. The main characters are her and Brandon Fraser. So those siblings there. So I don't think there's siblings, but there's father and son, right? On National Treasure. But and this one was good, and it was good. It
was
Natalie Portman, it's really good at everything she does. John Krasinski is accomplished actor. This one, he's like a little bit more like funny and such.
Yes.
Right.
It plays to his strengths, and it offers everything that you would expect from the genre. You've got like art and history and riddles and puzzles and adventure and fun locations and antiquities and actions and who do we trust? I don't know. And it was super fun. And I think it's a good one to watch with the family.
Yeah, it's good for the kids, right? There's it's PG-13, I think. So it's clear for most audiences.
PG-13. Why was it PG-13?
I don't know. Maybe there's like one bad word
someone
somewhere.
Might drop an F-bomb.
Yeah. Or maybe when something bad happens to someone. But anyways, The Fountain of the Youth is available on Apple TV Plus. It's fun. Apple of their movies, they strongly deliver. I can't remember anyone that was like terrible. in this one is as they've been doing. They're doing good movies. And they did release exclusive on the streaming, which is probably a smart idea because there's summer's just starting and there's a lot going on. There's a lot coming. Competition would be very, very big. And when you have something new on streaming, it's an option. You go to the beach or to a park and a night at the hotel. You're not going to go to the movies, but you can watch a new movie on streaming. So pretty clever. Fountain of the Youth available on Apple TV Plus.
Yes. Okay, so far it's all been hits, but we also saw Mountainhead. Was this on Netflix?
Oh, highly in HBO Max.
Wow,
Max,
I never get this right.
Whatever they calling themselves
yes.
this week. It's highly anticipated. I was very excited about this movie.
I was intrigued.
Yeah.
I was intrigued. And
a movie that was like a quick editing turnaround, which means they shot and edited like really quick. But again, after you watch the movie, I don't know if that's a big achievement because nothing really happens.
I was disappointed. So I typically don't like pay a whole lot of attention to a lot of the marketing for a film. I find if I enjoy movies a little bit more, like the less you know about it, right? And I didn't realize that this was meant to be a satire until like halfway through the movie. And I was like, wait a second, like, are they trying to be funny? Is this supposed to be a joke?
Yeah, but like,
and then I looked it up, and like it is marketed as a darkly comedic satire. I feel like it just misses.
It's a no matter how you read, it works because the director Jesse Armstrong, he actually directed some big hits. Like he directed In the Loop. You probably don't remember In the Loop, but In the Loop is the movie about a British politician. There was the foundation, the origin for Veep, right?
Oh, okay. I was thinking about Armando Iannucci the whole time. I was like, man, if Iannucci made this movie, it would have worked.
Well, what Iannucci was, I don't think he was involved. It was Jesse Armstrong by himself. Yeah. But it's like, it's so...
But Iannucci did Veep, right?
Yes. He did In the Loop and he did Veep.
Yeah.
And Jesse Armstrong directed In the Loop. So it's so dark and so cynical, and nobody is like... because even like In the Loop, like Peter Capaldi's British, I can't remember his position, but he's loud and he screams at everybody and he says F words or whatever the British say a lot. It's like you love the guy because it's like he will say the F word to someone who deserves it at the specific best time. Anyways, it's fun. This one, they're all like, I don't know if it's a liberal or non-liberal hate for millionaire that he put on the text, and he put in ways that these people are terrible and so terrible that goes beyond being funny. It stops being funny.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't funny. So the premise of the film, right, is a bunch of like mega billionaires. And like tech giants and one millionaire. And they're like social media,
AI.
Social media, AI.
Dark money.
Yeah, dark money, power, like electricity, oil, stuff like that. Right? They get together at this guy's new home in Park City, which he calls Mountainhead. A reference to Ayn Rand's Fountainhead. So interpret that how you will. So they get together for this like poker weekend, but this is right as one of the social media guy has released these like, I don't know, new AI features or something on his social media, and this triggers like just meltdowns, socio-political meltdowns across the world, as nobody can figure out what's true anymore. Anyway, but we only see this through like these guys and what they're reading on their phones and what they're talking about. And so through the whole thing, I'm like, wait, is this really happening? Do they actually have any power here? Because they're talking about like, well, I'll just take over Argentina, like no big deal. I'm like, can they actually do that? Or they just, it's just not really clear what's happening. None of them seem I don't know.
And it's
I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't funny enough. It wasn't scary
Yeah.
enough. It just never went in any direction. So it was just like a lot of very annoying people talking a lot.
Yeah, and
It didn't work for me.
Even like they cite they quote philosophers and they know a little bit enough to say it's like that's not what it means. That doesn't mean what you think it means. You know, even like the pseudo philosophies to change the world, and they like to use this piece in our time now. That was Stark. What was it?
Yes.
Post life, right?
Oh my gosh,
Post life
yes.
in 5 years.
Post-human.
Post-human.
Yeah.
In 5 years. And it's like
Which
it's
makes
so,
it impossible to take them seriously when they're like, okay, we're going to take over these governments. Like, these are the idiots who are, like, so fixated on, like, transcending the human body.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
And that's supposed to be a party. They go to party poker.
Yeah.
And they rich. They can have everything they want, anything they absolutely desire, good or bad. And there's no food, and they have this motto: no meals, no deals, no what's it like?
I can't remember, but there is an absurd amount of food. And that was something I
But
noticed.
they don't eat.
They don't eat, but there is an absurd amount of food in every scene that they don't eat, which was that supposed to be like a comment on like just like the waste of their lifestyle? I don't know.
So there's food, but they don't eat. There's drugs, but they don't use. There's no woman. There's no. I mean, they could hire Taylor Swift to stand there and sing for them, right?
I guess
Just for their
so.
amusement, like a Roman emperor that has, anyways. But it's just these idiots talking and talking. It's like these among the idiots you have Steve Carell and you have Jason Schwartzman and the guy that played the Riddler in Gotham and the other one I never seen. But anyways, and they go on a snowmobile ride for a bit, then they come back and then they stay in the house and talk. Shot here in Park City. The Mountainhead is there if you wanna go rent and have fun. But
It would be a fun house to hang out in.
yeah.
There's bowling alley, spectacular views. I mean,
And super rich and don't have help, right? Because you think someone
there
is
was staff around whenever they wanted them.
yeah, whatever was for the plot, but like it's just them and they send the stuff somewhere else, right? When they arrive,
There's
they
a
send-
bunkhouse,
because
like at the bottom of the hill.
yeah, because what they talk is like the
Yeah.
things that they're gonna do to save the world from themselves.
Yeah.
It's like it gets so ridiculous and unfunny. Like for the guy take over Argentina with a phone call. It gets so ridiculous and unfunny, like, people claiming that Elon Musk is the actual president of the United States, that Trump is a puppet and stuff like that. And overall, it gets annoying. It goes from a little bit funny and then not funny and then annoying. It's like, oh man, who's gonna kill who on this? And for my surprise, not surprise, it comes to a point that's like, you have to kill this guy. It's like, oh, duh, because what else can he do to finish this movie? And I'm not gonna say what happens next.
Yeah.
If you dare,
I would pass.
Yeah.
Go watch like Avenue 5 or Veep or something again, because I feel like those were much more successful satires that were like entertaining but also insightful.
yeah.
There's better stuff out there. You can pass on this one.
It's disappointing because they have that talent. But I guess it's like, hey guys, I rented this house for a couple weeks. You guys want to come here and live lavishly, and we shoot a movie? It's like, yeah, sure. Like, yeah, anyways, it's available on Max, HBO Max, HBO, whatever.
Yeah.
If you're there, but. For a reason, it went straight to streaming. Different reasons than Fountain of the Youth. This one,
It's
it went
just Fountain of Youth.
It's not the Fountain of Youth.
No, you keep saying Fountain of the Youth. It's a Fountain of Youth.
Fountain of Youth. Fountain of the Youth. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. In Portuguese, it's Fountain of the Youth.
Interesting.
Yeah. Fonte da Juventude.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that sounds much more exciting.
So for different reasons, because Fountain of Youth, I'm pretty sure they were clever enough to not go fight the big dogs, and give you the opportunity to watch on streaming while on vacation. And this one, it's like they knew they would be destroyed. They would be absolutely destroyed. They would get
Yeah, I don't think anyone
they
would
would
pay to
get a
see
little
this.
bit of audience out of the big names. Steve Carell's there, but besides that, it would be crushed. Because I don't know,
That's
it's
not good.
sort of like a, I don't know, a statement they're gonna make. But it's like, yeah, guys, your statement. No,
Like, and
don't
I
spend
hear the
millions of dollars
statement,
in my
like,
time to do this. Go, I don't know.
yeah, it was a swing and a miss. I appreciate
Yeah.
the swing, but we got to be honest here,
Yeah.
it was a miss.
Anyways,
So sorry.
what else we saw?
Stick. This is a series starring Owen Wilson
Yeah.
that we started, and
Also Mark Maron and some other talented people. Also on Apple TV, it just came out. The first 3 episodes are available. And I see a pattern here. People might say, no, this is my creative genius that came up with it. But I see a pattern. The pattern started with Ted Lasso. And if you remember how Ted Lasso started, it was basically, or not basically, but very similar to the plot of the classic Major League, where the owner of the Cleveland Indians, is it Cleveland? Yeah, Cleveland Indians. The Cleveland Indians, I can't remember if he dies or if he gets divorced. The wife inherits the club by after whatever that was, and her goal is someone tells her that it's like better, more profitable, and also there's elements of revenge because it was his to get rid of the club, but she has to
she has to like tank the club first,
Yes.
or tank the team in this case.
And then a team of colorful characters, and there's a coach that comes to save the day, and even against the wishes of the woman that owns the team, he does. Ted Lasso starts very similar as a
Ted Lasso
team.
starts like exactly the same.
Yeah, except that Hannah Waddington's character, she doesn't want to tank the team, does she? I
She
can't
does
remember.
at the beginning.
She does?
Yeah, and then she
okay.
comes around.
So it's basically
But
the same.
they bring in an American football coach, like, yeah, we're gonna
Oh,
blow this
that's
up
right, that's
because
right.
this was my husband's baby and he's the worst.
Okay, so yeah, bringing the soccer
Yeah.
coach is an indication that not a soccer, football.
Yeah, football, an American football coach.
Yeah.
He was brought there to fail, but then he wins her over with his little pink boxes of cookies and his charming hometown personality.
Howdy.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, so they used something that was in the past and they created something new and they changed into something else and something better and something different that everybody loves. This one, it has like a lot of Happy Gilmore vibes.
Yes. In fact, when it first started, I was like, wait, this is the Happy Gilmore scene.
Right? Yeah, it's not out yet.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not, but it's definitely...
It's definitely the same vibe. They tried to bring something that in the 80s was fun and full of inappropriate, what people consider now inappropriate jokes. And now they're making more like, giving more heart and Ted Lassoing, if you may. It basically feels like that. I don't know if you have the same feeling, but for me, it feels like...
Yeah, we don't have the, like, divorce revenge thing. Like, there is a divorced couple.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about Happy Gilmore. How they brought from Happy Gilmore.
I see.
This kid that was on the bottom, and he had a talent for playing golf.
Yeah.
And he finds a coach that will help him, and he's succeeding. And of course, with parallel stories of broken families everywhere, and giving some what do you say when you put salt? Some
flavor, some savor. Some
no.
seasoning.
What is this?
I don't know. Sprinkle.
Sprinkles of heart to a story. This feels very similar, but so far it's been good. It's been fun.
I'm really enjoying it. I do not care for golf. I don't understand it. I do not see the appeal.
But it's so simple. There's a hole. You put the ball.
That's
in
okay.
the hole.
It's to me personally. All due respect to the skill and talent of the people who play this game well, I think it's so boring and I don't understand it.
You don't know
but
the birdies.
The sprinkling of heart. Yeah, I just don't care.
Birdies and pars and.
Yeah, the sprinkling of heart though, it makes this very interesting. We've got an interesting cast of characters. I care about them. I'm rooting for them. It's a compelling story. I would recommend.
Yes.
I would recommend this series. It's good stuff. Oh, Judy Greer.
We do.
She's one of the other ones who's in it.
Yes.
So So yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. Cause yeah, there's like the golf and the sports, but like all the good sports movies, it's not just the sports. It's like the people and all that. So.
People winning at the sports.
Or winning
and
at life. Yeah.
Sure.
Because like
Okay.
Rocky didn't win. Or did he?
Wow, it was a one step backwards, two step forward. He got beat so he could win. Yeah.
Anyways. All right, let's get into the pop culture news of the week section.
Yeah, there's a lot. So, can we start with Tudum?
Sure.
Okay, so Tudum happened past week. Tudum is Netflix, event where they show up what is coming, and we got some news from there, including trailers from. Where it starts here. Okay, well, the first one is a bad news, saying that Greta Gerwig, Chronicles of Narnia is a completely, radically different from previous films.
Do they mean like her previous films or
No.
Disney's Chronicles of Narnia?
From Narnia's previous films. Which is like if you go... Because the movies were not as good as the books, right?
Not even close. And the movies in many ways like gutted the heart and soul.
Yeah. So if you're
of
going...
the books. I don't particularly care for them.
So if you have the book, if you have the movies, and if you have she going like even farther away, that's not good news. And you already heard that with Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep
would be Aslan.
Aslan.
Yeah. So that was one of the things we heard there.
Yeah.
What else we heard about Stranger Things?
It's coming out November 26th.
Yeah, and the cast was there, and they look like adults now.
Yeah, in fact, you've probably seen the memes where people have used AI to like age everybody into like senility. And anyway, I mean, I get this is a tricky thing to do. Like, it takes time to make this stuff, and these kids just won't stop growing up. And I mean, what are you gonna do?
You have to make it quick. You have to make it. You have to hire kids that have some genetic problems growing up, because
or just on the small side.
Because like the 3 kids they hire for the new Harry Potter, for instance, they talking about 20 years. In 20 years, which equivalent to the books to 7 years, right? 7 years. You want the kids in 20 years look like they only grew up 7?
Well, and that's another thing. Puberty is so freaking unpredictable.
Yeah, like if let's say if no Harry, because he's the main character, I guess people would give like a mental pass. But let's say if Ron, if Ron is one of those kids that's very tiny and he gets to 12 and whoop.
Right? Yeah, I feel like it's definitely more noticeable in boys because you have like the height and then the voice change.
Yes.
And you don't get to pick when that happens.
Yeah.
And it can... Oh, didn't that kind of happen with Anthony Michael Hall when they had to go back and do reshoots?
Yes.
For Family Vacation.
Family Vacation, yeah.
And like between rap and between the reshoots... Like, puberty hit him hard, and I was like, well, this is a different human being. Anyway, so it's going to be inherently difficult. I don't blame them. I feel like it's one we're just going to let it slide. Because what are you going to do?
But it's coming to an end, and it's starting in November, which I think is like 20-something, right? Which is Thanksgiving.
Like Thanksgiving weekend.
And then the second part on Christmas, and the third part on New Year's Eve, New Year's. Yeah. So it's I think it's like 7 episodes or something like that, 9 episodes, and each has like an hour. So each episode is like a full movie.
Yes. Didn't they kind of do that last season too?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. And I thought it was pretty good.
So it's coming to an end. We'll see what's coming next.
Okay. Our last bit from Tudum is the teaser for Rian Johnson's 3rd Knives Out film.
Yeah.
Set to come out in December.
I think Knives Out is one of those things that you did once and you did really well, and every time you do it again, it will just go down. There's no way to improve. It was a Herculean job to improve. I really liked the first one. I thought the second one was weaker, and this third one's gonna get weaker because. It
doesn't have to be because like he's a detective, right? Going to different mysteries. Like they don't have to be connected to each other at all.
No, I'm not saying they're connected. I'm saying
like there's potential.
The overall quality.
Yeah.
It's like because you already. you already surprised us. You already got us, right? And then it's like making a sequel for Sixth Sense. It wouldn't work. But again, they're gonna keep doing it because it's popular. It brings them audiences. But let's hope it's the last one. But who knows?
I don't know. I think there's room to be optimistic here.
That's all from Tudum?
I think so.
All from Netflix?
There might have been a couple of the Netflix things I didn't. No, yeah, that's everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to our normal programming.
Okay.
But yeah, they had that. Was a Frankenstein? It's for Netflix too, right? The new
I'm
Benicio
really
del
bad at
Toro.
remembering.
No, Guillermo del Toro Frankenstein. With Jordi. What's his bucket? I can't remember. But the main.
Isn't Oscar Isaac?
The doctor is Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
And it looks good. People's like, you have to release this in the theaters, but so far it's Netflix. They might have limited release, but for now it's Netflix because Netflix is hold their stuff very tight.
Yeah. Oh, fair enough. They've done well with it so far. Okay, a bit of newsy stuff and Biden's press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre has said that she's leaving the Democratic Party, becoming an independent, and is releasing a tell-all memoir of her time in the broken White House, which will be very interesting, except
she was part of it.
That she was from all I can see, she's a very active part of it. She
was the cover up media part of it. It's funny that she's gonna release a book telling all when she was the person in charge of telling during the administration and didn't tell. So it's a mix of ridiculous, sad, and funny. It's just
I don't buy it.
Yeah. Well.
I don't buy it. Okay, some cancellations that are a little bit bizarre. Electronic Arts is canceling a Black Panther video game and closing Cliffhanger Studios and just more layoffs.
Yeah, I think the game we saw footage of it. It doesn't look bad. It actually looks quite decent. It could be very interesting. But yeah, it's gone. The 1942 game is not canceled. This one it has Black Panther. I think it's T'Challa's father or maybe grandfather. I can't remember. As Black Panther. It's T'Chaka. No, I think it's T'Chaka's father. The timeline is confusing because you have the books that are released like in the 30s and the 40s, and then you have things being released now. So the distance between things that happened in in the 40s and the 60s to World War II, and the distance that we have from now to World War II is very different. So they adjust the timelines according to their products. But some ancestor of T'Challa as the Black Panther also has Captain America during World War II, spies and fighting Nazis, that all the fun stuff. That one was not canceled. That one still might come. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not all the Black Panther news we have this week. Marvel has introduced a new Black Panther.
Okay, so there's a couple comic book news this week, and this is one. It's like the comic book industry is failing. And instead of like, let's save it, let's do something good. No, they do stupid things. The first stupid thing they did, and which it was a joke, like every time someone would cast someone from a different race, like swap races in pop culture and movies, TV, etc., just for the sake of DEI, not because of always the best actor, yes. Or not because of the story. People would come up with the jokes. It's like, yeah, you're doing that to my favorite character that I grew up. My father grew up with it, and you think that's okay? Let me see if I change Black Panther into a white guy. And people made memes with Ryan Gosling. That might now become reality because on the comic book, Black Panther is now white.
This is T'Challa's son with a white woman. But the kid looks.
What's the name of the
mix?
Cocorico? His name?
What?
His name is Cocorico.
No, it's not.
Cocorico is something we were talking about.
You had to be there. Geography humor.
But anyways, he's so the stupid things they do in comic books. They split Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson, and said there's like people like reticent saying that they will never get back together, which is ridiculous. But anyways, so
also never say never in comic books.
True.
Like,
true.
just don't.
Yeah, but we live in times that like pseudo ideology and crap that is contaminating the industry. That I could totally see he never going back to Mary Jane, and even get worse, make him gay, because they already have the whole shipping of him and Deadpool in the books. Deadpool was in love with him, and Peter. That's why they have the Peter on the movies.
Yeah.
It's a reference to that on the books, which is actually Peter Parker. But anyways, so it can only get worse. But back to T'Challa, to Black Panther, the King of Wakanda. He was married to Storm, Aurora Monroe, member of the X-Men, and the goddess of weather. She has many nicknames. But anyways, they split them, and you see a pattern there. So they split them, and now T'Challa went back to a former love interest, or a love with this other woman, and she has a baby. She's black, but she has a baby, and the baby is white. So drama. Anyways, and that kid takes over Wakanda, and it's just dumb. On another dumb comic book news, Thor,
This one makes no sense. I don't understand it.
Asgard will be soon erased from the Marvel Comics universe.
And let's be very clear.
Continuity.
They're not just like taking a break from like making new Thor comics.
No, they're gonna cease to exist in the universe to the point that every time they mention those characters, or at least a start, they might reveal this like, there was a big plot that Loki made everybody forget.
Yeah. That could actually work.
Yeah, but it's not. That's not official. I just
fingers
think of
crossed.
that. Because they did that to Spider-Man. They did that in a movie, but they did it in a book years ago. And that was the beginning of splitting Peter and MJ again. But so the characters do not exist on that continuity, on that universe. Thor will just be a guy with a hammer. That sounds like it will sell a lot. It would be dead in the water. More updates when that gets developed. If they develop even a very generous word for that crap.
Yeah. Okay, Marvel Studios, in addition to all that, they will be skipping Hall H at Comic-Con this year.
Which again,
at San Diego.
Which again is it's understandable. Disney, who owns Marvel, has a big convention. And if Disney would come up, they have two, right? They have D23 and they have Celebration. If they would come up with a convention for Marvel alone, people would buy. It would sell out. Not yet, but they will. Maybe they will come up there. But they're not going to Comic-Con.
They are not.
Meanwhile, there's not that. Meanwhile, Kevin Feige was talking about the end of Thunderbolts, and was like sort of teasing, doing that thing that he does. Is like, we always planned that. But anyways, he was saying that the ship at the end of, spoiler alert if you didn't see the post-credit of Thunderbolts.
It was barely a spoiler.
The ship that those characters see at the end of Thunderbolts, at the post-credits, it might not be the Fantastic Four you're going to see on the movie soon. It's a different ship.
So the ship that looks exactly like the Fantastic
Four. It has a big four.
And has a big four. Yeah, that ship, maybe it's not.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're hedging our bets. Maybe we're doing like a James Gunn. Like, this wasn't actually part of the new DCU.
About James Gunn, since you jumped right on there. James Gunn, there's like a lot of discussions. A movie, they claim the movie cost $215 million, which is the same amount that costs to make The Man of Steel. For starters, I say $215 million used to make a lot better. How's the expression?
Used to buy a lot more.
Used to buy a lot more with $215. Yeah, and but there's I think it's like a sort of a cop out to admit the movie costs the same, because if the movie succeeds, it beat them. But if the movie fails, it didn't cost more. So but again, there's a rumors that the actual figure is close to $400 million, putting like one of the most expensive movies ever made. But yeah, they keep coming to the press, and some people praise it. Oh, look at them! It's like he comes and says it. It's like someone on Twitter. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if he paid a PR damage control firm to go to his Twitter and do that. But the movie went to major re-editing to make, because apparently it was too silly, and they fixed that after screening for focus groups, and yeah, it's coming. We'll see. Anyways.
Yeah, can't wait. Just kidding. I can super wait. Possibly related. I don't know. But the Warner Brothers Discovery shareholders have rejected Zaslav's bonus for 2024, $51.9 million.
Yeah, it's
is it
not
bonus or is payback? Like what?
It's a bonus.
Okay.
It's non-binding. He's still gonna get or paying. I can't remember. That's money that he gonna get from the company. The board said no, but it's non-binding. It's just an expression of opinion. He still gets the money anyways, but it's not a good sign.
Yeah.
We talked about how Warner last week, the category, the classification on the stock, the financials was down to junk.
Oh yeah, they're grading.
The grading, yes. So it's not good, and you know, if they're big expense, their big movie Superman fails, everybody might lose their head. They might split again, and there's rumors that they might split again. Might sell DC to pay for we'll see.
Which I wouldn't be mad about right this second.
I wish
like,
Netflix
let somebody
would buy.
else.
I wish Netflix would buy DC or Apple.
That would be nice.
Yeah,
that'd be
not
really
Disney.
Nice.
Because then it's all the same, and yeah.
Well, just a few more layoffs and shutdowns and all the rest. 3 magazines were closed.
Magazines like in the Gunn?
No, In Touch, Life and Style, and Closer, and First World for Women. I miscounted. That's 4. Anyway, everyone was laid off. They were shut down because nobody wants to pay for this anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
printing
not
press.
a big
Printing press
shocker.
Remains slowly dying.
I think there's but very specifically the printed press. I think there's still a lot that people are willing to read, but like,
oh yeah,
I don't want to pay. When you look at what it costs to like have like a physical copy delivered to you versus what it costs to subscribe to something online, like the free press, it's obviously I'm going to subscribe to the one online. Okay, and then let's see, what was the other one? Oh yeah, layoffs at Disney. They're laying off hundreds of people in the film and television departments, as well as publicity, casting, development, and so that Dutch drug baron who was suing Netflix. The lawsuit was dismissed.
Yeah, my judge in Florida said it's like, no, you moron.
So it was nice to see, like, the justice system works. Okay, Lena McDonald's an author, and she was caught. She left an AI prompt in a book.
Yeah, and 2 things. I don't know if you talked about this before, but 2 things that I noticed is that there are authors. I mean, pseudo authors. This person used AI. Who knows how many do? Because she was very sloppy, very incompetent of doing. She left us the prompt there. And
surely there was like an editor. Was this like a self-published thing?
I
because surely there would have been an editor or like teams of people who could have caught that.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like someone she sent to people to pre-review. Or I don't know if it was fire. But anyways, there are alerts of 2 things: that AI is being used, it's not gonna go anywhere. It's a matter of money, and when you fight money, if you don't have money, you lose. And the industry said, no, we're not gonna use. When they did the strikes, Hollywood did the strikes, was not to ban and stop it, for them to get more money. Once they get more money, they might find agreements that they still might happen. But anyways, out of that, the other alert is that apparently the audiences would not be able to differentiate, to notice if it's AI or if it's human, which is a big one.
Yeah, it sends me into all kinds of like existential, philosophical, moral, and ethical crises. So we're just going to move on. And hey, Tulsa King is getting a spin-off. It'll be set in New Orleans.
With
Samuel L.
Sam
Jackson.
Motherflower Jackson.
So that's great.
Yeah.
But like really.
Yeah,
really,
no, yeah. Tulsa King, Tyler Sheridan. He does great stuff. And
yeah,
we're here for that.
Yeah, you know how people say like, please stop putting Jared Leto in things. I feel the opposite about Samuel L. Jackson. Like, yes, put him in things.
And it's not only him; it's him with good writing.
Yeah, that's gonna be very entertaining. Disney still wants Owen Wilson to come back for more Cars movies. I don't think anybody else wants that. Like,
but he's ka-choom! He's driving really fast away from them.
Yes. So thank you, Owen Wilson. We appreciate that. You're doing us a solid. Bryan Cranston is maybe being considered as Professor X.
We approve.
Yes.
I always thought. I mean, I had this opinion, and I talked about before that when they cast what's the blue guy's name?
The Beast?
Kang.
Oh, yeah.
When they cast him and they cast that guy, and because he says it was good, and the granted he was not bad.
Yeah, no, I thought he was great, except for the whole like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about his role in Marvels. I'm talking about he was an actor before, but again, we found out he was beating the crap out of his people. Anyways, but I people say, oh, he's great. It's like, in my opinion, I always wanted someone like really like certifiably bad in the movies. And Bryan Cranston was a name that came to my mind when they were like Kang, like, this guy would be a villain, because Marvel fails on villains like all the time. But they decided not to, and now they're bringing him to be the professor, and I think that would be, he's a good actor.
He's such a good actor.
He could even throw
and we know he does bald well. Like,
yes.
Oh
yeah, that's like a.
This
very
is another
important,
one. Put Bryan Cranston in.
He does bald well.
Well, it's one of the. I mean, it's maybe not what defines Professor X, but it's a pretty major part of the look.
Yes.
And the character, as you would say, it's a visual medium.
His agents, CAA, I think. Yeah, he balds well, people.
Yeah.
Let he get him the bald roles. But yeah, we approve, and we couldn't wait to see.
I would super love that.
Let's see if that happens. Hopefully, we will.
It will.
Or not.
Yeah.
Or not. Just a rumor. Like there's like rumors like Hunter Schafer, the trans actor from Euphoria, that would be Zelda on the game adaptation, and it turns out that it was not rumors coming from Sony or from Nintendo. It was the actor. He hired a PR firm to spread the rumor, to make everybody talk about it. And then everybody's talking about it.
Yeah.
Most people hating the idea of having a man playing Zelda. But
I don't know, but if you've seen Hunter Schafer, like,
the look it's right. Nintendo, it's Japan. It's like they are a little, if not a lot more traditional than the mess going on this side of the world. They would not let that happen with that big character. But anyways.
Clever move. Okay, Spider-Man Brand New Day is maybe going to be a Hulk versus Spider-Man movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rumors, yeah.
Okay, Gen V Season 2 is coming in September.
Granted, the last Hulk involvement in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there was not a Hulk movie. Kind of sucked. Was Captain America. He was there for 30 seconds. Anyways.
So is it a Hulk or the Hulk that they're gonna do for Spider-Man?
I would assume is the Green Hulk. If not the Green Hulk, Bruce Banner, maybe his son, or maybe the other Green Hulk.
Yeah.
There's so many Hulks.
Yeah. Okay. So Gen V is coming, or Season 2 is coming in September. Season 2 of Wednesday has cast both Lady Gaga and Haley Joel Osment as guests.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. I mean, we're like out of time, so I'm just gonna rapid fire these. Tom Cruise set a Guinness World Record that, like, why the heck is this a world record? The record is for the most burning parachute jumps by an individual.
Yeah.
16.
Yeah.
How is he still alive?
Whoa.
Maybe he could pump the brakes a little bit, and the movies would still be great. And like, he doesn't have to be quite a psycho, but the movies are so great.
Well,
so I
he
can't
had
really
to
complain.
do 16 to get it perfect. He was not trying to get the record. He was trying to get it
You really have to get that right the first time. There's not really room for error. I feel like there. Okay, Sydney Sweeney and Dr. Squatch have teamed up to sell soap infused with her used bathwater.
Yeah.
Which is, what was that? Saltburn? Very Saltburn. So
Saltburn.
gross.
Saltburn. Yeah.
So
Saltburn was a different strategy because it was because this one is soap. So of course they're not gonna sell stinky soap.
Sure. But it's still the idea of like, I want to touch your bathwater.
I guess, yeah. And also,
little gross, guys.
Also with Saltburn, it was, I think it was a little bit, what's the word they say? A little bit, oh, geez.
It was definitely more disturbing, creepy, and predatory.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, especially if you've seen the movie.
But I'm just saying, it's not...
More. When it's
if
like,
you buy it, I'm gonna judge you, and not
when
well.
it's niche, is more like when it's like niche, it's like a more because it was.
I mean, it's consensual, but
Yeah,
still
no. I mean, selling a soap is mass scale because everybody uses soap.
Sure.
On the Saltburn case was a candle, which is more like for a group of people. So not everybody buys candles. That's my point. So, but either way, the idea is the same. And yeah.
No, I was thinking just the scene in Saltburn where he goes and drinks the bathwater.
Yeah, no, that was bad. I'm talking about selling candles. It's a little bit than selling soap. Because candles is more veneer. Is that a word in English?
Yeah, but I don't think like superficial?
No. It's more like niche on the sense that's like it's a more. Oh crap! I have the word on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember.
I'm sorry.
When you have it's like a market for smaller groups.
Yeah, niche. That's the word.
Yeah, but there's another one.
A more niche word.
A more niche word. Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah.
Well, if we think of it, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Dolly Parton is keeping up a winning streak against...
So just real quick, sorry. Sydney Sweeney there is being flirted. There's rumors that people are like surrounding her, flirting with her to be on the Marvel universe. Which already happened, right?
Yeah, wasn't she in Madam Web?
Yeah.
Okay. So that... Okay. So what, Dolly Parton, is this like Dollywood beating out Disney, or what's the deal? Dolly Parton is keeping up a win streak against Disney.
Yes. So for the third year, I think, Dollywood was elected by polls, by survey to audiences as the most favored park in America.
Oh, I would definitely agree with that. I do not regret our trip to Disneyland, but like, I would choose Dollywood.
There's another one top on the list. It's like actually there's different categories, and Dolly is in one. The other category one that wins like a lot is Busch Gardens.
Really?
Yeah, and I think there's different ones because there's a Busch Gardens in a specific place. But anyways,
I don't know.
So yeah, Dolly kicking the rat's butt, the mouse butt.
All right. You heard it here first. I called this when he announced Clint Eastwood's retirement. At age 95, he has said there's no reason why a man can't get better with age, and says he's planning to direct another movie.
Yeah,
I told you.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah.
This time, that might not happen.
No, seriously. I feel like when you're that age and still working, and then you're like, I'm gonna retire. You either die very soon, or you unretire.
Yeah.
That's.
I mean,
I don't be morbid about it.
You know,
like,
if you love what you do, right?
Yeah.
And people love him for doing what he loves, and he does what he loves really well. Why not, right?
Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm glad he's gonna make another movie
Stop
because
complaining.
he's very good about it. He's very good at it. I'm just saying when he's like, I'm gonna retire. BS.
Oh wow!
That's all. You're not gonna retire.
Extra. Chelsea is against the Clint Eastwood
I'm
coming
very
back to the
pro
movies.
Clint Eastwood. I just don't believe it when he's like, I'm done. I'm like, no, you're not.
Okay, that's
Tell me
it.
you're dead. No, don't give up on me yet. Never gonna give you up has passed 1 billion streams on Spotify.
Wow, it's a lot of Rick rolling. Is that
Yeah.
Rick rolling?
Whatever Rick rolls.
Rick Ashler.
Rick Astley.
Astley. That's what Ashler. Okay.
It's Astley.
Astley. Yeah.
Yep. So I guess we're not giving up on him yet.
Yeah.
Either.
On that note, we're not gonna give you up. We're gonna let you down, but we're gonna let you go because it's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
We come back next week with more pop culture news entertainment. We're gonna watch a new Karate Kid and some more fun stuff. But for now, that's it for this week. May the force be with you.
Live on and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.